Welcome to a cruise ship heist, which comes in 44 parts. I thought it was 55, but I couldn't count. Now we've added it up. It is definitely 44 parts. Chapter 35, Stowaways. The officers on the bridge must stay because they form the required complement. Each of them is keen to follow the captain, but none know the problems of the last few days. Uninvited, but unable to stay left behind, I excuse myself from Jill and follow about half a dozen paces behind the captain. Hunter and his team will be there, and no doubt armed. He may palm me a gun, as he did in the streets of Cologne. To my surprise, the chase moves straight outside to the deck, where guests are running away in distress. The captain moves in the other direction, to the right, and climbs up to the sun deck. I am just steps behind him. At the top of the stairs, he stops. This is a strange vantage point for any gunman to take, unless they have taken hostages. I stop behind him, and whilst relieved that it is not a team of South American gunmen, I am totally bemused by yet another cruise holiday scenario for me. I could not write what each day is bringing. No one would believe it. One sunbed on the deck is swarming with bees. Another large swarm are exploring a slated vent. Between them, enormous numbers race around in circles, like a special effect straight out of a horror movie. Hunter is there with two of his officers, and they are bemused at the ship's new guests who appear determined to stay. "This is a new one on me," the captain relates. "Get Officer Ronnie Coing up here. If there's not a protocol for this, she'll have to write one." "You think, sir?" Hunter growls. "Bees will be protected." I wish I was. Whilst this is a let-off, I'm feeling jumpy, even though we are just talking about bees. I've ordered stage smoke to be brought up and the fire team to get suited in full protective clothing, Hunter Witowski explains. Fully abreast of the situation, the captain leaves. Officers are clearing passengers off the decks as the fire team arrive in full protective suits carrying CO2 cylinders. The bees attack a deckhand, and he screams with the stings. A suited fireman sprays him with powder and CO2, as another slides him away towards a medic. With guests safely away, Hunter nods for crew to blast the bees. Hundreds of frozen bees covered in white litter the deck. The main swarm flies away. "That's enough," he orders as Ronnie arrives. She is also in a breathtaking dress. It must be a night in which everyone and every bee is trying to make an impression. She looks at the dark cloud of bees as it drifts further away from the sun deck. Then she looks at the ones being swept up. "If they're dead, they should go into the food waste," Ronnie states. "If not," Hunter asks, "let them fly off the back of the ship as they wake. Have a fireman guard them. I'm not dressed for this," she says. She means it's my paperwork, Hunter shares with me. Ronnie grins at him, and he raises his radio. "Hunter to the bridge. We're good to go." Why are the three of us together again? Has the drug cartel trained thousands of bees to attack? This is all madness, I mumble. "No, just life on board a cruise ship," Hunter murmurs. Chapter 36, Hot Spice. Mood lighting, hanging beads, and the ship's dark wood combine with the distinctive spicy aroma to offer a modern, yet classic, Asian restaurant at sea. People talk in whispers, and the service we're afforded is instant and personal. "Could we have a bottle of Sula, white, please?" Jill asks the maitre d' who seats us. "The coldest one," she adds. "I'll inform your wine waiter. His name is Sai," he tells her. "Tonight you will be taken care of by Rajini and Shivam." Jill is an independent woman, with intriguing layers. Why is she alone? I'm wary of asking too much in case she reciprocates, delving into areas I've only shared briefly with a therapist. If in danger, defer to the Bs, or better, the next destination. A waiter attends us with a plate that doesn't look like food. 2 small, round Swiss rolls, only large enough for a Tom Thumb character. He waits until he has our full attention. Thank you, my name is Shivam. He pours water on the cloth swirls, and they each rise like a phoenix, expanding into a hand towel. The first is offered to Jill. Throughout the ship, you're encouraged to sanitize your hands, especially before eating. But here, this cloth extends to the forehead. If not in company, I'd be tempted to call my neck. I'm beginning to relax. Good evening. My name is Sai. The wine waiter has appeared, presenting Jill with her ordered bottle. She looks at me to check I'm happy with what she's chosen. Sure, I don't know the wine, but that is a good reason to try it. A cruise is an adventure, right? Jill feels the bottle to check the temperature, and the waiter pours a little for her to taste. Sir, Madam has made an excellent choice. Sula wine is from our largest wine producer in India. Mr. Rajiv Samant, the founder, is a distant cousin of my wife. He only started in 1999 with his first cuttings of the Zinfandel grape, smuggled into India from Northern California. Legend is that the vine cuttings were nurtured in the lower decks of a cruise ship all the way home to India. I would believe any story I'm told about a cruise ship. It may be a little far-fetched, but now he has 1,500 acres in Nashik and nearby Dindori. Recently they won silver at the Decanter World Wine Awards for this Sauvignon Blanc, he says. No doubt the tale could be even longer if the restaurant was not full. We both smile politely and thank him, and he leaves us to it. There is a pause as we look at each other, one I need to fill. What do you know about Cartagena? It's a city in Colombia, Jill offers. I taste the wine, and it's easy on the palate, maybe too easy. I'm not used to drinking much, not used to relaxing at all, not like this. I down my whole glass of water. I only know what I saw on Narcos. Jill is stopped mid-flow. From the chef, another waitress describes the pre-dinner nibbles. Then Shivam leaves us the menus and they retreat. At this rate, we'll learn more about the restaurant staff than each other, which offers me some safety. I try the food. It's delicious. This is amazing. The menu credits him as the second Indian chef to win a Michelin star. It's my favorite. I look forward to it as one of my cruise treats, Jill shares. But not so easy to eat alone here. So thank you. And Narcos? A TV show about Pablo Escobar. I was glued to it. I shrug. I've never heard of it. The drug lord, she explains. A documentary? No, a drama. All about his ruthless killings of everyone who dared upset him. Politicians, police, FBI, anyone. Tourists? I ask automatically. Jill shakes her head with a smile and goes back to the menu. Then she adds the bullet. Not unless they crossed him. So, what shall we do in Cartagena tomorrow? Chapter 37. Next. The starter is so good it steals all the conversation. But as our plates are cleared, Jill hits me with the personal stuff. So what uniform was the lady superhero referring to? Georgina is head of entertainment on the ship. But you call her Georgie, she says with an edge. Oh, everybody does. And your daughter has the most beautiful olive skin. Where is her mother from? She pries. Well, those are two quite different lines of conversation. Which one would you like first? Or can we talk about Cartagena? I try. Jill waits. Her eyes fix on me. Her perfectly formed lips seem to move very slowly to a curious pout. How much should I share with her? I'm treading water. I have a whistle and a light on my life jacket. I'm lost at sea. I was in the army, boring ceremonial royal duties, but never important. Interesting for about half an hour, which must stretch to 2 45-minute talks on ship. So, if I tell you now, I'll be spoiling it. I sidestep. Or could you give me a quick version now, then I can stay on deck sunbathing while you toil in the theatre, Jill says, not giving up. And my daughter is adopted, though not officially. She turned 18 too quickly for the need. There is always a need, isn't there? What about inheritance? Making her next of kin, she asks. Good point, but I have nothing to leave. I like that she calls me Dad, so Cartagena? Does she know her real parents? Jill asks with a more solemn tone. I could answer this, but it's not my story to share. You don't own your children. I certainly don't. I ponder as to what I should tell. It is always a conundrum, especially as I don't want this solo cruiser night out to get too personal. She recently turned 19. She's been dancing on the ship just a few months. She loves dancing. She gave herself the name Aulie after the actress who voices Moana. It's a kids' film. She dreams of being in Western movies. I never met her parents. Where's she from? Jill continues. You're not from immigration, are you? I hear they like to do this kind of job on expenses rather than sit in the boxes at airports. No, I'm a benefits investigator permanently assigned to cruise ships, she throws out, full of sarcasm. Is she a refugee? How long has she been here? Here? In Panama? Just a day, I answer. With you. You live in the UK. Are you a journalist? Nope, I write computer code. It's nice to talk to real people, she shares. That sounds interesting, I say, because I genuinely like geek stuff, and it's safe ground. No, it's not. Tell me why a grown-up girl chooses a name from a cartoon at the age of 16, 17? Do you watch kids' films? I ask. You won't distract me, she insists. It's the plot. A teenager sailing dangerously to safety, and while sailing, she discovers her identity. My daughter sailed, I offer. But Jill is not yet fulfilled. So I add, to safety, up the Euphrates. In Syria? Unless they've moved it. Wow, you adopted a Muslim refugee? That's brave and wonderful, she congratulates me. Some might say stupid. It cost me my pension. Incidentally, she's Christian. 10% of Syrians are Christian. And you were in Syria doing ceremonial duties? She continues. I nod. Did I say ceremonial? Yes, I did. I was one of the first into Iraq in 2003, part of the coalition. 45,000 troops. I did all the parades and all their palaces, then popped back to our palace, then back again. Do you know how important Islamic and Syrian scientists, mathematicians and doctors have been to everything we know and use today? And how we have deliberately belittled their intelligence since the Crusades? She nods, knowing I am trying to dodge talking about myself, or about Aulie. Her face is a human can opener, all the right muscles twisting into me. I've had worse interrogators work on me behind enemy lines. Now, Cartagena, or the new tattoo that vanishes cheekily away down into the unknown. Was she on the boat with her family? Did she sail into Iraq? She continues, undeterred. Not exactly. She lived at the other end of the Euphrates, in the Raqqa province, I reveal. I don't know it, she says, prodding for more. The riverside of Tabja Dam, which stops Lake Assad from flooding the valley. Its strategic importance means there'll always be fighting there. Problem is, no one knows who's fighting with whom, or why. When it was taken by ISIL in 2013, her parents were killed. She ran, dodging bullets at her feet, with other children, some of whom never made it. Those who survived hid in her father's fishing boat. She was the oldest. The rest is really hers to tell.